All right, so let's jump into week 1 matchups and let's do the first game of the season, which is Thursday, September 5th. It's gonna be the Ravens against the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5. The over and under is 46.5. Ron, who'd you pick as a winner?
Kansas City. Arrowhead Stadium is a tough place to play. I got Kansas City winning. It's going to be a great game, though, regardless.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. I have Baltimore winning. Again, I think whoever has the better defense here, I think wins. That's why I went with the Ravens. But we're talking about Pat Mahomes, so who knows? 3.5 is just, it sounds like about right. So, but I still like Ravens to win this game. Then there's the second game, Friday, September 6th at Brazil. So none of these teams have home field advantages. Packers and Eagles. Philadelphia is favored by 2.5. The over and under is 48.5. Ron, who'd you pick?
Give me the Eagles. I think they're a better team.
Yeah, I went with the Eagles as well. I think that Love is not there. I think as a whole, they're not there. So I went with the Eagles. And finally, we take a break on Saturday. Then we get to Sunday, September 8th. And we start with the Arizona Cardinals at the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo is favored by 6 points. The over and under is 48. Ron, who'd you pick?
You got Buffalo.
I got Buffalo too.
Yeah, it should be a relatively easy win.
Yeah, it should be relatively easy. We think anyways that should be easy. I mean, 6 points is a lot. We get the next game, Titans at your team, the Bears, Soldier Field. The Bears are favored by 4.5. It's a 45-point over and under. Who'd you pick?
I got Chicago. I don't know about that spread, though. I think Titans, we talked about earlier, are going to be a pretty decent team, but I think Chicago is the real deal, and they'll pull it off.
Yeah, I like to Chicago to win this game, and 4.5, I think might be a tad high for a rookie quarterback, but Chicago should win this game. The next game is Texans at Indianapolis. Houston is favored by 2.5. 49 points is the over and under. Who'd you have, Ron?
Houston.
You got Houston? I thought you liked the Colts.
I do.
But you don't think they can pull this one at home?
No, not for the first one I gave. I'm giving Houston the win. Listen, Houston is still the team to beat, despite, what I said. I think it's going to be this guy's first game in a long time. I don't necessarily expect him to get off to like a hot start. But I got Houston winning.
Yeah, I got Houston too. I think that all the things that you just mentioned, first game back, you might get overwhelmed quickly.
What do you think about 49 points? It's going way over too.
Very high. Very
I think it's
high.
going over.
You think it's going over?
Yeah.
You think Richardson, first game back, is going to have more than 25 points?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Yeah, I would go under on that one. I think it's too high. The next game is the Jaguars. This is a Florida game. Jaguars at Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 3 points. The over and under is 49.5. Ron, who'd you pick?
I went with Miami.
I went with Jacksonville because I like Jacksonville. I think 49.5 points. I think they're going to go over. I think these offenses are loaded. It's just who has a better defense. Is it Peterson or McDaniels who has a better defense? We don't know. So I went with the Jaguars. The next game, Carolina at New Orleans. New Orleans favored by 4 points. 40 is the over and under. Ron, would you go?
I went with New Orleans, but like I was saying earlier too in our earlier podcasts, like Carolina could mess around and win the first game. But I got the Saints winning this one.
Yeah, I got the Saints winning this one, but it's not because I like the Saints. It's because Carolina is so terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And 40 points might be very generous. I don't know if Carolina's offense can even muster 10 points. We don't know. So we'll keep an eye out on that game. The next game is Minnesota at the New York Giants. There's no respect for either team. It's a 1-point favorite for Minnesota. The over and under is 41.5. Ron, who'd you pick?
Got Minnesota winning this one.
So you think that Sam Darnold can beat the Giants at MetLife Stadium?
Yeah, I think so. There's nothing I've seen, and I know it's preseason, but nothing I've seen from the Giants in preseason that gives me any hope whatsoever with Daniels. Yeah.
I mean, I went with the Giants. I do like the Minnesota defense a lot more than with Brian Flores, but I don't know about Sam Darnold, man. He might think he's a Jet. He might start throwing interceptions left and right. I don't want to see it, but 1 point is basically Vegas' way of saying these are both terrible teams. We don't know who's going to win. It could have been an even for a weekend, for all we know. This is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers. It's a lot of lots. Chargers are favored by 3.5. 41.5 is the over and under. Ron?
Give me the Chargers. I'll take Chargers to win this one.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers too. Their home opener. Raiders, even though I like Max Crosby, but I don't know if the Raiders can score points with the Chargers. We don't know, right? We don't know what the Chargers are going to do. I think it's going to be a run only because they lost Keenan, right, to the Bears.
Yeah.
So we just don't know who he's going to throw the ball to. So, but I still like the Chargers more. We got the Denver Broncos at Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 5.5. 42 is the over and under. Ron, what'd you give them?
Give me Seattle. I think they'll, start off the season pretty good, looking pretty explosive.
Yeah, I like Seattle to win this one. But to be honest, I like Denver to throw the kitchen sink because I know Sean Payton wants to be like, hey, I got a good quarterback.
It wasn't me.
Right? Yeah, it wasn't me. It was, hey, Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. He's not even on the team. We're still paying him. So, yeah. This is going to be the Seahawks to win. The next game, Cowboys at Cleveland Browns. Cleveland is favored by 2.5. The over and under is 42. Ron?
Give me Dallas. Dallas is a very good regular season team. Cleveland, we talked about Watson. I'm not a big fan. I like Ford as a running back, but no Chubb there. Give me Dallas.
I went with Cleveland only because they are home. This is Watson's kind of like coming out party because obviously he didn't play in the preseason. So if he's great, I think Dallas is in trouble. If he's terrible and he just turnover machine, he's running for his life.
I think he will be. I think Parsons is going to go off.
I still like Cleveland to win this game, but that's a big if he does all that stuff. Next game is Washington Commanders at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored by 3.5. The over and under is 43.5. Ron, who'd you pick?
I went with Washington. I switched this one last minute. This became my upset special, which we'll talk about. Give me Washington to win this one.
I went with Tampa. I think, again, I don't think Washington is going to have it all together by then. I think Daniels might get a little bit overwhelmed on the road opening day of the season. I think that's going to happen to him, but he'll settle down eventually because I did pick him as the offensive rookie of the year, but give me Tampa Bay. Okay, this is Sunday night game. Los Angeles Rams at Detroit Lions. Lions are favored by 3.5. The over and under is 51 points. Ron, who'd you go with?
I got Detroit winning this one. Another game that with a high over under. I'm thinking it's going to go over that 51 points too.
I'm in agreement with you. I think Detroit will win this, and I think 51 points, take the over because there's going to be a lot of points here. And for the close of week 1, Monday night game, September 9th, the New York Jets at San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are favored at 3.5. 43.5 is over and under. Ron,
I got 49ers winning. I think Jets go all the way out to the West Coast and get humbled a little bit. I can see Rodgers throwing some tantrums on the sideline. Yeah, I got San Fran winning this one. I think they win more, pretty. I'd say they win by like 8 points or more.
Yeah, this is going to be my upset special. I think New York Jets show up. I think Rodgers, being a California guy, his family's probably going to go at this game. He has to play well. There's going to be too many questions, especially with their media. They're going to be like, what? I thought we crowned the Jets. What happened? So this is going to be a good game. We'll give you the final score coming up.